People often think that being famous is an overwhelmingly wonderful thing. But what people don't see is actually what goes on behind the scenes, that it can be very, very difficult to be in the spotlight. And if that happens to you from a very young age, where you've grown up in the spotlight, the pressure that that puts you under to always be perfect can be unbearable for some people to live with.
Living in the spotlight was something Ant and Dec were going to be exposed to for the rest of their lives. An apprehensive-looking Ant faced the press at the court hearing. After being slapped with an £86,000 fine and a 20-month driving ban, he emerged to make a humble apology.
Can I say a few words? I just want to say I'm truly sorry for what happened.
Ant's body language and demeanour during his statement to the press perhaps said more about his inner feelings than the words themselves.
Higher standards are expected of me. I expect them of myself. I let myself down. I let a lot of people down.
That's quite an interesting little micro hand gesture of stabbing movement into the heart region. Sometimes that can indicate that someone's feeling quite a lot of emotional pain and anguish, but also it can be an indication of kind of anger directed towards the self.
For that, I'm truly sorry. I'd like to apologise to everybody involved in the crash, and I'm just thankful nobody was seriously hurt.
He looks down there in really quite an exaggerated kind of gesture of the head. I would suggest that that's indicative of someone who is actually deeply ashamed of what's happened, but also is trying to hide. To have this play out on the public stage must be incredibly embarrassing and humiliating.
I'll have to do it myself, like everything else around here this week.
Being part of such a famous double act can actually be a bit of a double-edged sword. Because if you do get into a bit of a mess or a bit of a state in life, you're not only having an impact on your own life and career, you're also looking to your sidekick and noticing that actually what you're doing is having an impact on them as well. So that can compound, I think, sometimes a sense of shame and self-blame, because you know you're not only letting yourself down, you're letting down other people too, who are dependent on you both staying together.
One of the most gorgeous presenters on British television has been joined by Holly Willoughby. Hey, Holly's here, everybody.
When you come from a situation where you're very much a part of a team, in this case a double act, if you then see that someone else is stepping in, as much as you totally understand that that's got to happen and this person's sort of holding the fort for you, it's also very painful, because we don't want to feel like we're expendable. We don't want to see other people doing what we've done before. So that must be very, very difficult to cope with.